for being here in another edition of Entrepreneurs and Fuego, documenting your journey one digital footprint at a time. With me, I have
Selina Schuh from
Selina.
Empowered Living Strategies.
Schuh is a German last name.
Yes, I'm originally from Switzerland.
And you know how I know that? Because you told me.
Yes.
Off camera. So I had no idea.
Yeah.
And so you're from what? Originally from Switzerland?
Yeah, I grew up there.
Oh,
Born
really?
and raised, yeah.
How long were you in Switzerland?
Until I was 21, so basically half of my life.
Half of your life. Okay,
Yeah,
so
a little
you're.
more. I've been here a little more.
So did you go to school in Switzerland?
Yeah.
Or?
My family's still there.
Oh, really? And so
Yeah.
then you come to the United States,
Yeah.
I would assume.
Yeah.
And did you pursue a postgraduate degree here, or you just?
No, I came here to actually study Montessori, preschool and kindergarten education.
Right.
But it was truly just, I wanted to get out of Switzerland. At that point, it wasn't part of the EU. We couldn't work anywhere else. And at 20, I just wanted to travel and go see the world. And so to do a year-long education, I was like, okay, get me on that airplane and out I go. And so.
Yeah, well, most people want to get out of the United States and go to Switzerland, actually.
Switzerland's really small. It has a lot of, it's very conservative, thinking-wise. And so I've always traveled with my parents when I was young. I always loved meeting other cultures, and to me it was just excitement and adventure to go see something else. You know, I knew I could always go back. It wasn't like there was a big crisis economically that I couldn't go back. You know, it was a luxury. I could come here or I could stay there.
So now you're here in the United States,
Yep.
and what do you do next?
Oh, long journey of moving a lot across the country, lived on the East Coast, lived in the Midwest. I had started in California.
Right.
Changed studies several times, studied English literature, studied journalism, and ended up here in Phoenix because my in-laws lived here and we wanted to raise my daughter here with family, since my family was so far away.
And so work-wise, what are you doing now here in, not right now, but when you moved here to Phoenix, so what are you doing?
I was working as a, in education. I've always worked in education then, so starting with preschool, kindergarten, but I've worked in different educational outlets. And I started then teaching in online learning environments, creating videos and those kinds of things for online learning, and then moved to teaching at the community college.
Wonderful. What were you teaching at the community college?
Journalism.
Journalism.
Yeah.
All right, and so now you're teaching at the community college, and somehow you become an entrepreneur.
Yes.
How?
Things at the community college, the journalism was just a waning field. You know, everybody wants everything free online, doesn't want to pay for journalism. Students were reigning, and so the program got cut. And I had been on a spiritual journey to figure out who I am. Went through a divorce while I was here, and I started working with ideas of how do you change your thoughts and how do you create a new outcome when you change your thoughts. And as I was teaching this to myself, I created huge changes in my life.
How do you change your thoughts, by the way?
It's really a matter of becoming still enough that you can hear the chatter that's going on in your mind all the time, and hearing when it's positive and when it's negative. And I found out that most of my self-talk and how I saw the world, coming from this conservative background of Switzerland, that it was very negative. And I had to reprogram it. And I had to start looking at, you know, how am I looking at my job choices? How am I looking at my health? How am I looking at relationships? And figuring out that all of that I didn't give it a lot of possibilities. And as I was learning more about how you can reprogram how you do your thoughts, I mean, it sounds technical to reprogram, but it's really, it's just methods to be more aware and talking to yourself in a way to say, no, you know, I can do this. I can go find a great job. I can create a relationship that's working.
So, Selina, walk me through this thing. So, you have these negative thoughts, and I think you've made a progress in your life that you say, at least you're aware of the fact that there are certain limitations that you have some certain negative thoughts that are preventing you from moving forward and becoming successful. Now, in practicality, did you write those down alongside your positive traits? Is that...
No, it became...
So in other words, if somebody right now is listening and viewing this thing, how do I do that? So how do I become aware, and what is my next step, in other words? What is that you do?
So for example, if you're thinking that your finances are really limited and you continuously tell yourself, I don't have enough, I need to save, I can't spend, that's negative self-talk. So what you do is you write down, I have perfect savings. I have financial abundance. And when you write that, your brain goes, crap, that's not true. But there's been research that says if you read this sentence to yourself 2 to 3 times a day for 30 days, your brain will actually start learning a new reality. And, to me that sounded a little shaky and a little crazy, but I kept doing it. And the changes I saw in my life is that I turned my finances around from always being broke to always having savings. And from selling a house in the worst part of the economy when nobody wanted to give you the right amount of money, and actually selling the house at the full price. Just by saying, I find the perfect buyer. And those kinds of things, and these kinds of things just kept happening in my life over and over, that I thought, okay, I'm a teacher, I'm teaching something in journalism that is dying because we always report about negativity. We don't want to hear about it anymore. I want to go out and I want to teach these positive things. So that's really why I decided to open my own office, and why this is what I teach people.
Does this work for everyone? Or are there some of us that, even as we do it, we don't believe it enough that we allow the change to come?
It works for everyone who is willing to let their negative self-talk go. There's a lot of people that argue with me and go, yeah, but I don't really think that this is going to work. Well, if you're going to continue saying it's not going to work, well, then it's not going to work. If you're going to say it is going to work, it actually will work for you. We all start with these sentences thinking they're completely the opposite of what I am and what I believe. This is why you need to do it for 30 days. You cannot expect on day 5 your finances to be okay. And it's a longer journey. You have to hang in there and really be willing to listen to your thoughts and listen to what you're putting out there.
And I think what happened with you is that you believed.
I had to learn to believe.
You had to learn to believe.
I came from a very negative environment of always feeling that I didn't have enough, and that I wasn't going to have a relationship that was fully supportive in the way that I needed it to be. In every aspect of my life. And by practicing it, I started seeing the changes. So I don't feel like anyone needs to believe it off the bat. They just need to be willing to go, what do I have to lose? I mean, what do you really have to lose by saying a sentence to yourself 30 days?
So your whole plan is about affirmations?
It goes deeper. It has to do with meditations. It has to do with truly getting yourself in touch with who you are. And from that, you can hear your higher voice of what you're truly seeking, and then pursue those things with affirmations. So affirmations is one part of it.
Okay.
But it's truly about becoming who you're supposed to be and living a full life versus living a life in fear. So it's about letting go of fears.
Do you have any fears anymore? Things fly over
Of course. We always have new fears. being a new business owner, I continuously have to beat myself over the head and say, do this, overcome your fear. But I do. So I'm not as afraid of stepping through the fears anymore.
And you're helping a lot of people doing this thing, and that is phenomenal. That is remarkable, because a lot of us really are afraid, and actually we're afraid of listening to ourselves and to discovering that yes, we do have all these fears, and confronting those fears sometimes is very scary. It's a very scary stuff.
And we think it's reality and that we protect ourselves from reality, but it's not. You can change your reality.
And I'm going to change your reality right now.
Look at that!
With this T-shirt.
Office pile.
Is the Office Pile T-shirt.
I love the change. You know, it's the.
It's from have the woman
The
calavera,
dark,
and then they have the man calavera. This is for you. This was painted by Lalo Cota, which is a local artist. So here we are, and this is for you, my dear. Thank you so much, man. This is truly fascinating. Anybody can change.
Absolutely. You just have to be willing.
You just have to be willing to do it.
Yeah.
We're out.
Welcome to the